Hello, I'm Megan Dean, and welcome to today's news conference with NASA astronaut Frank Rubio. Frank is scheduled to launch to the International Space Station Wednesday, September 21st, aboard the Soyuz MS-22 spacecraft from the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan, along with Roscosmos cosmonauts Sergei Prokopyev and Dmitry Petelin. He will be a flight engineer and member of the Expedition 68 station crew. Frank is from Miami, Florida, and is a board-certified family physician and flight surgeon. This will be his first space flight. I'm going to hand it over to Frank for opening remarks, and then we'll take questions from the media. For media on the phone, please press star 1 to ask a question and star 2 to withdraw a question if it's already been asked. You can ask questions on social media using the hashtag AskNASA. Frank, how are you feeling about your upcoming mission?
Hey, Megan, good morning. You know what? We feel great. We feel ready. It's truly an honor to represent our nation, the NASA team, and the astronaut office on this mission. I'm really excited to be flying with Crew 4 for only a couple of weeks, unfortunately. Crew 5 for the vast majority of it. They are a fantastic crew, and I'm looking forward to becoming a part of their team as we tackle the ISS together. And of course, it's been an honor to be a part of Soyuz 68 and all that this mission represents. So we've had incredible training teams. We feel fully ready to go, and we're excited about the mission.
Perfect. Okay, we'll take some questions from the media. Again, if you have a question, please press star 1 to ask a question. Let's start with Bill Harwood with the CBS News.
Well, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whatever it is where you are. I guess I was just wondering, how has the training gone? How are your relations and NASA's relations with Russia these days? That's a standard question as things have evolved. And can you explain in layman's terms how important it is to have this seat swap arrangement where an American or a NASA or a partner astronaut launches on Soyuz and a cosmonaut launches on Crew Dragon or Boeing Starliner? How important is that? Thank you.
Sure. Hey, good afternoon for me, Bill, and good morning to you. Thanks for making the time. Yeah, it's I think it's an incredibly important mission. Our partnership between NASA and Roscosmos has been ongoing for a long time, and it's really been a good and strong relationship. And I think this crew swap really represents the ongoing effort of tremendous teams on both sides and amazing people that make this happen. I think it's important when we're at moments of possible tension elsewhere, that human spaceflight and exploration, something that we're both agencies are incredibly passionate about, that remains a form of diplomacy and partnership where we can find common ground and keep achieving great things together. I think it's been an ongoing relationship for many, many years, and we hope to keep it going for many more.
All right, we'll take a question from Marvin Marshall with the Nighttime News Space Report.
Hi, thank you so much for taking my question. It's a pleasure to meet you, Frank. My name is Marvin Marshall from the Nighttime News Space Report here on twitch.tv. I hope you're having a wonderful day today. It's a pleasure to be able to talk with you before your first space flight ever. Now, what type of high G-force training do you go through to get your body ready for a ride on the Soyuz? Thank you.
Hey, Marvin. Yeah, it's great to meet you also. It is, again, just incredible the opportunities we have in this program and the training we get. The most common training we get is probably in the T-38 jet aircraft, which is a supersonic high performance jet. And so just being able to fly that on a regular basis provides amazing training. We also conduct training in American and actually, because I'm assigned to the Soyuz, I've had a chance to train in Russian centrifuges. And those obviously provide probably the most realistic training in the sense that they can dial it down to exactly the type of forces that you'll be feeling during your mission profile. And you just kind of go through the entire profile, and it creates a level of comfort that's great having that before we go into our mission.
All right, we'll take a question from Mark Currow with Aviation Week and Space Technology.
Good morning, and thank you very much. What's some of the science and technology research you're looking forward to, and perhaps there's some other activities, spacewalks, that you're looking forward to participating in?
Yeah, Yeah, good morning. Again, I think we're all super excited about the entire mission. We've spent a ton of time training for EVAs or spacewalks, so I think all of us are excited to hopefully participate in those. There's some really neat biological experiments that I look forward to, obviously, because of my background. Biofabrication experiment will be up there, which, again, the possibilities that represents, right, of possibly being able to produce human organs, which would just be phenomenal in our capability to deal with human disease back here on Earth. Those type of things, are just sometimes they're almost mind-blowing when you think about it, right? And the fact that we get to participate in a small way, but a significant way in helping to make those a reality is truly exciting.
All right, we'll take the next question from Marcia Smith with Space Policy Online.
Thanks so much for taking my call. I'm wondering if the COVID pre-launch protocols have changed any. What is the COVID situation there in Russia and at Baikonur? Do you still have to go down, is it 3 weeks in advance or something, and be quarantined? What is the situation there?
Hey, Marcia. Yeah, that's a great question because it's a very real thing for all of us. And, the medical team that supports us, again, just does a tremendous job. They've kept amazing protocols in place that keep us all healthy. And yes, we were going to quarantine. That actually hasn't changed much. We've always had a quarantine period because we want to keep the ISS as safe as possible. And so we'll enter that quarantine period as per normal protocol. And I think we all feel really great about the team that's supporting us and the fact that they're going to keep us safe, keep the crew on station safe, and safely return us to Earth.
All right, we'll take a question from Bill Harwood with CBS News.
One more from me, if you don't mind. I'm curious how your Russian crewmates have accepted you, how you guys have blended together, and can you tell me or tell us a little bit about each one, what kind of guys they are and how you guys get along? Thanks.
Yeah, Bill, thanks for that question, because I think it is important to point out, we all get along great is really the bottom line. They've become good friends of mine. Sergey is a former Russian Air Force pilot. Dmitry is an engineer. But more importantly, they've gotten to know my family. I've gotten to know their families. We all have very similar priorities in the fact that I think family comes first. And then our main focus is to make this mission happen as safely and productively as possible to ensure that we get everything that's been tasked to us done. So, it's great. We've gotten to hang out quite a bit. I always say that no matter where we're from, if more people just got to know each other, I think we'd be very pleasantly surprised at the commonalities that we have and how well we can get along together.
Okay, we'll take another question from Marvin Marshall with Nighttime News Space Report.
Oh, hey, Bill, if you want to actually go, feel free to, continue on there. Sorry.
Hey, Megan, look at the Q&A tab.
Oh, okay. I'll carry on. Sorry about that.
I think, Marvin, did you have a question?
Twitch, we appreciate you, taking another question. What are some of the, food items or meals that you have chosen to, eat before launch, and then, if you have the opportunity to bring up with you? Thank you.
Yeah. Hey, Marvin. Again, that's a question that hits really close to home. We will get a chance to pick kind of our menu once we're down in Baikonur Cosmodrome. We haven't done that yet, so I actually don't know what I will be selecting. But I'm excited at the fact that we get some really nice meals down there. As far as on station, a lot of my meals will actually be part of an experiment where we're looking at, hey, how does a healthier diet affect your performance in space? And so to that degree, I don't get to choose quite as many things as we normally might, but it actually has some really great food, lots of omega-3s, lots of foods that are high in vitamin. And so I'm excited about being part of that experiment. I'm excited about the food that we'll eat up there. The good thing about being an Army astronaut is that I'm used to eating, MREs quite a bit from being out in the field. And so I think that's prepared me well for my 6 months on station.
Absolutely. All right, let's take a question from Jeff Faust with Space News.
Hello. I know that this particular flight required getting the integrated crew agreement signed, which only took place a little over a month ago. I'm curious, during your training, were you following that? Was there any sort of nervousness about whether that agreement would be completed in time to allow you to fly in September? Thanks.
Yeah, hey, Jeff. We definitely were following it, obviously, because it affected us directly. I don't know that I was ever nervous about it. I had confidence in the team that it would happen. But at the same time, there was a confidence of knowing that, hey, if it happened, we would be ready. If it didn't, there was going to be other opportunities. And obviously, I'm incredibly excited about the fact that it did happen. But yeah, no nervousness about it.
All right, we'll go over to a question from social media. If you have a question on social media, you can ask using hashtag AskNASA. So for Mark on Twitter, what do the final weeks look like leading up to your launch?
Yeah, Mark, it's really busy. Here in Russia, we'll spend the last couple of weeks doing simulations, primarily in the Soyuz, but also on the Russian segment of the International Space Station. And then we'll have final exams on that. And those are all-day events where you take kind of a day full of normal things and also possible emergencies that could happen, and just make sure that our training is ready to go. Once we pass those, we'll head down to Baikonur, and we'll continue to train for our mission, and then just transition to quarantine and just kind of spend more time as a crew together, continue to bond. And hopefully get to see our families a lot, during the last week or so. Unfortunately, during quarantine, that can be limited exposure to family, but we will get to hopefully see them. And then we launch. So it is super busy, actually, so busy that in a good way, it kind of keeps you from focusing too much on anything but the training and the things you need to do.
All right, a couple more questions on the phone. Marcia Smith with Space Policy Online.
Thanks for letting me ask a second question. So today, of course, is the flight readiness review for the Artemis 1 mission, and if all goes according to plan, it's going to launch next Monday. Where will you be? I presume you're going to be watching it. Will you still be there in Star City, or will you be down at Baikonur by then? And is there going to be a watch party? Are your cosmonaut colleagues excited about this too?
Yeah, Marcia, I think we all are, right? At our core, we're all space explorers primarily. And I think this kind of thing just, if it doesn't get you excited, I don't know what does. But I don't know that we will have a launch party. Like I said, unfortunately, for me, next week is finals week. And so we'll be pretty deep into our preparation for that. And I say unfortunate only in the sense of, I would love to watch the launch. If I don't get to watch it live, I will for sure watch a recording of it as soon as possible after our training's completed for that day. But yeah, no, I'm excited to see it. I think my crewmates are equally as excited for watching it and for the NASA team and everything that it represents.
All right, yeah, we're all excited for that launch. We'll take another question from Marvin Marshall with Nighttime News Space Report.
Hi, thank you again for taking another question here. My name is Marvin Marshall from the Nighttime News Space Report. Now, what was one of the hardest, things that you had to go through and that you were able to overcome during training to become an astronaut? And again, it has been a pleasure speaking with you today, and wish you best of luck on your flight up. And we look forward to seeing you up there. And thank you again for your service and everything. You have a great rest of your day, Frank.
Thanks, Marvin. I really appreciate that. Yeah, so I think for a lot of astronauts, probably the toughest thing is just the separation, right? So the separation from my wife and my 4 kids, that's been a challenge. But I've got an incredible family, and they've all stepped up to the plate and really made this as easy as possible for me. So it's been a challenge, but we've all kind of gone at it with a positive attitude and try to just embrace what it represents. Other than that, physically, as far as the actual training that we do, I think the water survival training that we did here in Russia, where they essentially place you in a Soyuz and you practice getting out of the capsule in case of an emergency water landing, that was a pretty challenging event. It was a lot of fun, but there was a lot of sweat in that in that survival suit. But we got through it. We passed it with flying colors, and it was a lot of fun.
All right. A question from Jennifer Marshall with Orlando Sentinel.
Hi, thank you so much for taking my call. Frank, it's very nice to talk to you again. I was pitching this morning to my editors, and I was like, we spoke to him a couple of months ago, and I just realized it was back in 2020. So time flies. So I wanted to know, from the time that we spoke back in 2020 when you were first chosen as one of the 2 Latinos to participate in this big project, how has all this changed for you? Was it what you were expecting? What is the thing that has been most different from what we spoke at the time that you were looking forward to? And the next question is there any special item you're thinking of bringing with you when you leave?
Yeah, no, so it's great. It is great to talk to you again. And for those who may not know, I think in 2020, when you say we were selected, it was as part of the Artemis program. And again, I think it's important to note, first of all, that there's 50 incredible astronauts in our office that are all incredibly capable and willing and looking forward to possibly doing that mission. I think the biggest thing that's really changed for me is that I was assigned to this mission, right? And so my focus has been primarily on this and getting ready for my ISS mission. I'm excited about whoever's going to get to do the first couple of Artemis missions. And, I'll count it as a huge blessing if I do get to participate in that in the future. But for now, the last couple of years, I've really tried to stay focused on this, and I'm really excited. I get to go to space. I get to go to the ISS and do some incredible things that very few people get the opportunity to do. So, as far as things that I'll bring with me, just some small items for my family. There's not a whole lot of room in the Soyuz, and so there's not many items that we get to bring, but again, I get to bring myself and some pictures of the family, and so that's good enough.
Sounds good. All right, we'll take a question from Twitter. Will you take part in a spacewalk during your mission on the space station?
We don't know yet. Hopefully, like I said, I will, but there are 4 incredibly talented crew members on the USOS side who are all fully trained for spacewalks. And again, I think we'll all be excited for each other, regardless of who's doing what, and we'll all do our best to support each other and make sure that we have success in everything we do up there.
Perfect. All right. And a final question for you. How are you feeling? You've been training for a couple of years as an astronaut, and then now for this mission. How does it feel to finally be so close to your first launch to space? And also, what are you looking forward to most, maybe besides the work and the science that you're going to be doing on board Space Station?
Yeah, boy, it's hard to capture how you feel. I think, you're proud. It's a little, I think all of us probably feel a little bit nervous just because of the sense of responsibility that you have for everything, that's involved in this, right? From launch to being on the ISS to doing the day-to-day science experiments, possibly doing spacewalks, and then return. There's high risk in everything we do. And so I think most of us stay pretty focused on what we need to do to make sure that our part is done right. And so as much as that brings a sense of pride and responsibility, I think we all just want to make sure that we get it right. So yeah, I would say, it's an honor. It's also just incredibly humbling to be in this position. The reality is, fewer than 600 people have gotten to go to space in the history of humanity. And so just to be one of the very incredibly lucky and blessed few that get to do this, it's a humbling feeling and a humbling experience.
All right. Well said. Well, we are looking forward to seeing you launch in just a couple of weeks. And we'll wrap up for today. Thank you so much for taking the time and answering these questions, especially in your busy few weeks before launch. And everyone, please watch Frank and his crew launch live online at nasa.gov, on NASA TV or on the NASA app, or follow NASA on social media for all of the updates during his mission. Best of luck on your upcoming mission. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
Thanks, Megan. Thanks, everybody.